I'm Davy, and I'm awesome! And welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So this story does take place a long time ago, about a girl I used to date, which tells you it was a long time ago because at this point I've been married for 12 years and this was a few years before I even met my wife. I was dating this girl who was, well, which I didn't know that at first. At first she seemed normal like pretty much every other girl. Which is funny to say considering her and I didn't actually date very long. I'd say we dated for a month, give or take. I guess a little bit over, but not much. I'm even going to tell you the first sign I had that this girl was, in fact, was one time we were talking on the phone, like we used to do back then. It wasn't a cell phone, it was a landline phone. And man, I will say this, as much as I don't like a lot of technology, I like that most people's music is now on their phone for this reason, because women can't do this anymore. See, during the landline phone days, one thing that every guy hated, every guy, was when they would be talking to a girl on the phone and a song would come on in the background and she'd be like, "Oh, I love this song." And I learned quite early to try and change the subject quickly, because what "I love this song" means is, in a moment I'm going to put the phone up to the radio so you can hear it. And sadly though, changing the subject or not, there was no way around this. It never worked. You were going to have to listen through the phone, which, let's face it, the sound wasn't very good, to a song that you probably don't even like, and probably never will. But it doesn't matter because you can barely hear it anyway. But yet every freaking girl still did this. They would take the phone and they would put it up next to their radio. That's what we had to use to listen to music back then, kids. So you could hear this wonderful song that they just love. Now at some point I became the guy who wasn't even going to pretend. In fact, the last girl to do that to me, I even warned her, if you do that, I'm hanging up. And she did it, and I hung up. And of course she got mad, but whatever. But at this point, I was still trying to be that guy who would play these games. So when she said, "Here, listen to this," I was just like, no, that's okay, that's okay. We'll listen to it next time you come over or something. Okay, now I'm listening to it. Alright. Been here very little. Please don't do it till the end of the song. That was your best hope, was that they would stop before the song was over. That they would just make you listen to it for like a moment and then go, "Of course. So what did you think?" Now, even though what you're really thinking is, "I didn't hear nothing, all I heard was distortion," you just go with simply, yeah, it was really cool. So, speaking of changing the subject, but then how this would backfire is, if you didn't actually like the song that you could barely hear, at some point you and this girl were going to be in the same room together and she was going to put it on, and you had to hope that you recognized it enough to pretend that you liked it. And I didn't on either. I didn't like it and I didn't recognize it. So I ended up putting my foot in my mouth when we were driving and she put it on and I went, "What is this crap we are listening to?" "What do you mean?" "What do I mean? This is terrible. Can we turn something else on?" And I realize now that I should not have said this. Turns out what you're supposed to do, no matter what, is pretend that you like it. But she also informed me, "You liked it the other day." "What do you liked it the other day? I never liked this. What are you talking about? When did I like this?" "When I played it over the phone." "Oh! Yeah! That's right. I forgot I like this." So now I was caught. But here's the thing. I'm not going to pretend that, like most people, I haven't done like a white lie to spare somebody's feelings. But I will say this. I am the person that usually when I'm caught, I don't sit there and drag it out and I don't put another lie on top of these lies. I just kind of come out with it, and I told her, yeah, okay, I was lying. I could barely hear it. I just hate when girls do that, putting the phone up to the radio. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to sit there and listen to your radio distortedly over the phone. So I just said I liked it to get you to stop. "Well, this is a red flag." "What's a red flag? I have to like all the same music you like?" "No, but if you're okay lying to me about a song, how do I know you won't lie to me about cheating on me?" "What?" I'm just trying to process this, because, sweetheart, I don't think Evel Knievel could have made this leap. And I realize now that I should not have said that. Turns out, what that meant was that I think she's crazy and stupid. I wouldn't say stupid, but this led to a little bit of a fight, where I basically just assured her that even though, yes, I was willing to lie to you about liking a song, I wouldn't lie to you about being unfaithful. But that was one of the things about this girl. Every time I said anything, she thought there was like a deeper meaning or a hidden meaning to it, which those of you who know me know that that's really not the case. There's usually not a deeper message in what I say. It's pretty straightforward. Like if I say I'm hungry, let's go get a burger, that doesn't mean I want to talk about my childhood insecurities and how they affect me as an adult. It means I'm hungry and I'm craving a burger. But after this fight, things were okay for another couple weeks. Then we had our biggest fight, which oddly enough wasn't the fight that ended our relationship. That came a few days after that. But our biggest fight, I will admit, a lot of it was my fault, but not all of it. It started with she was at my house and I was watching television. Now, this will tell you about how long ago this was. At this point, we were not very far removed from the top story being in all the newspapers, news magazines, news television shows, was Paris Hilton and her tape. That was the hot topic that had been going on not even a year prior to this. So, of course, everybody knew about it. It was everywhere. And I was watching television again while she's on the phone with her mom, and they made a joke about the Paris Hilton tape. I laughed pretty hard. It was really funny. She gets off the phone with her mother, walks over to me and asks, "So what was so funny?" "Oh, they were just making a joke about the Paris Hilton tape." To which she actually said, "How do you know about that Paris Hilton tape?" "Because I live in these United States of America." "Don't be a smartass." "Well, I'm sorry, but that question was ridiculous. How do I know about it? Because last summer it was literally everywhere. Like, you couldn't go to the store and not see a tabloid headline about Paris Hilton's tape. You couldn't watch the news without at some point them talking about the Paris Hilton tape. You couldn't watch any kind of comedy show or late night comedy show without them mentioning the Paris Hilton tape. Trust me, at this point, everybody who lives in this country who's old enough to understand knows exactly what is One Night in Paris. You know the name of it? At that point, I just kind of stared at her, waiting for her to just finally ask it, because this was getting annoying already. Yes, I knew the name of it, and I was just waiting for her to finally ask the question that she was dying to ask me. "Have you seen it?" "No, I have not seen it," which was not a lie. At that time, I had not seen it. Then it was odd when she followed up this question with, "So do you find Paris Hilton attractive?" "I don't know, sometimes." "What does that mean?" "Well, there's all the time, and then there's none of the time. But when we go somewhere in the middle there, we call that sometimes." "Why do you always have to make everything a joke?" "Because I don't know what you want me to say. I said sometimes. And I'm being honest with you. Sometimes. Sometimes if she doesn't overdo it with the spray tanner, and she doesn't overdo it with the caked on makeup, and she doesn't do weird crap with her hair, yeah, she looks somewhat attractive." Now here I said that sometimes she looks somewhat attractive. Because truth be told, I was never that into Paris Hilton. During the time of that TV show she had, I was more into Nicole Richie. Before she got way too skinny. But me saying that Paris Hilton is sometimes somewhat attractive, what the girl I was dating apparently heard was this: "That's right, I like skinny girls, fatty!" Which I did not say in any way, shape, or form. And then came the moment that I have to accept my blame in this fight. Because she asked, "So is that what you really like? Skinny girls?" "No, I'm dating you, aren't I?" "No!" And I realize now I should not have said that. As a matter of fact, I realized I shouldn't have said it the second it came out of my mouth. It was that situation, which really happens to me a lot, where the moment it came out of my mouth, I could see the words and wanted to push them back in like, no! But there was nothing I could do. It was out there. So all I could do at that moment was backtrack like my life depended on it. I didn't mean that. 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 I did not mean that. That I did not mean. Mean that I did not. Mean that I did not. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. I swear to God, I didn't mean that. And she just glared at me like, look, I know that sounded wrong. That's not what I meant. I just meant that, no, I'm not only attracted to skinny girls. You're not fat. You're not fat. I stress that you are not fat. But let's face it, you're not skinny either. You're full-figured. You're nice and thick. You're deliciously plump.
No!
No, not that. Not that. Look, I find you very attractive. Very, very attractive. I mean, of course I would find you very attractive. I mean, I'm dating you. Oh, so you only care about looks. No, that's not what I'm saying. I also like your personality, and that wasn't a total lie. I did like the first personality I met. It was me and the other four that didn't get along. Look, obviously, when we first started dating, the only thing I knew about you was whether or not I found you attractive. As I got to know you, I also liked your personality. So, I like you all around. I find you attractive in many, many ways. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Which I thought explained things perfectly, but of course she had to go, what is that supposed to mean? Good God, does anything I say to you make sense the first time I say it to you? Do you not speak the same language as me? I mean, what do I gotta say to get you to understand me? Do I have to talk Wookiee? And I realize now I should not have said that. So after this, we kept fighting for a little bit. It eventually calmed down. And then, like I said, about a week or so later, we did break up. But the moral of this story, I realize now I should not have said that. So there you have it. That's my story this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me about some things that you said and instantly regretted when they came out of your mouth. Love you guys.